Hey guys, so today we're going to kind of be covering social media and how it has an impact on our life. Almost all of us use social media every day, whether that's Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, X, or known as Twitter. These platforms are a really, really big part of our life, and they help us stay connected with our friends, our family that's far away, and they even help us learn new things. But there's a side of social media that we really don't think about. It can hurt us in a lot of different ways. And today we're going to kind of look at that, see how that affects our self-esteem, our confidence, and our body image, and look at how that affects young teenagers and young adults, and learn about some ways that we can protect ourselves from that. So let's first start with comparison. When we scroll through social media, we're not typically seeing that heart hitting thing, that I just got divorced or my husband cheated on me type of thing. We're seeing the best moments of everyone's life. So we're seeing all of the fancy vacations and, I'm super jacked. Look at me, the fancy clothes, clothing and big achievements. And we start to compare ourselves to them. So we typically think, why isn't my life like that? Why am I not in a better place? Or why don't I look like that? And according to American Psychology Association, young people who spend a lot of time on social media are more likely to compare themselves to others, and this often leads to lower self-esteem. You see, the problem is that what we see online isn't real life. It's often edited, filmed, carefully picked to look perfect, but we still can't help ourselves but to compare and make us feel like we are not good enough. Another part of, social media is influence and beauty standards. If you're anything like me, I am constantly following the biggest beauty influencers out on social media. I look at, what they're posting, how they do makeup, and then I do my own makeup, and it's never like that. It never looks flawless. They present such a beautiful lifestyle and appearance, and we don't often see, how those photos are edited, how they have filters. A lot of them have gone to plastic surgeons and had work done. There's a lot of, professional photo shoots behind their post. And, over time, being exposed to those fake images can make real people feel worse about themselves. A article in 2021 from Psychology Today explains that consistently seeing these unrealistic bodies and faces can lead to distorted ideas about what beauty and success should look like. The pressure can make people, especially teens, feel like they have to change themselves. They can't be accepted the way they are or how, be loved in that way, which damages their self-esteem even further. So let's take that a even deeper route and look at the psychology effects of this. So social media doesn't just affect how we view ourselves, but it also hurts our mental health in bigger ways too. So the Journal of Adolescence found that teenagers who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media are much more likely to have symptoms of anxiety, depression, poor body image. And when you really think about it, spending hours looking at filmed and perfect pictures that are filtered and constantly feeling not measured up over time really leads to serious emotional pain. Feeling bad about your body, your looks, and your life, it's not just feeling insecure. It can become a long-term mental health problem if it's not addressed. Another thing that we're going to take a look at is we're going to look at social media experience. There's good news to this. We don't have to let social media control how we feel. There are steps that we can take to, make healthier relationships with it, putting a digital detox in. So there's a whole bunch of apps that limit your ability to get on social media. Using those, taking a break when you go to school or to work, and really putting your phone set aside, and having that moment to really help yourself and build that body positivity back, as well as kindness inside instead of perfection. Another thing that would be really helpful with this is being more mindful of the content that you consume. So not looking at, every beauty influencer and understanding that there needs to be real expectations. And you may not be an expert in makeup, but it doesn't mean that you're an awful looking person. So, to close this out, social media is a very powerful tool and can connect and inspire us, but it can also damage our self esteem and mental health if we're not careful. Consistent comparison, unrealistic beauty standards, and the psychological effect of heavy use social media are real and serious problems. However, by becoming more aware of these risks and taking steps to protect our mental health as well as the young adults in this world, it can support us in more ways. So let's learn how to use social media to benefit ourselves.